Alright, so, sorry, I got disconnected from the first video. Okay, so we were here, right? Well, we know the roots and the x-intercepts are at -5, 0, and 2, okay? Let me first mention, right, here, the multiplicity here is 4. It's an even exponent, so it's going to bounce back. Over here, this is an invisible 1, okay? So the multiplicity is 1. And so the behavior here is that it will just go straight through it or cross through it, okay? Here at -5, we know that the multiplicity is 2, because that's what the exponent is. And then, so what's going to happen is that since it's an even exponent, again, it's going to bounce. Okay. Now, that's fine, but we also need to figure out the end behavior, which I'm going to label here as EB, right? The end behavior. Okay. Remember from one of the other videos, to find the most important term, right? We know that we're going to have to add these exponents, right? Because if we were to multiply it all out, right, we're going to add the exponent. So 4 plus 1 plus 2 is going to be 7. And so we're going to have x to the 7th as our most important term, right? So now you've got to do two things here, right? Okay, well, what if you have a large number to substitute in for x, right? So let's do 10,000 again, right? 10,000 to the 7th power. Okay, that's a big number, right? 10,000 to the 7th power, that's a positive. That's a very large positive number, which indicates that it's going to approach positive infinity. Okay, so here to the right of 2, right, because those are large numbers, we know that it's going to go to positive infinity. All right. You also need to do, well, what if x is getting smaller? So let's say negative 10,000 to the 7th power. Okay. Now, since it's a negative and that's an odd exponent, right, the result is going to be a negative number, which means it's actually going down towards negative infinity. Okay, so a negative number to an odd exponent is going to approach negative infinity, which means to the left of -5, right, it's going to go downward. Okay, so this is our end behavior. On the left side, it's going to go negative infinity, it's going to go down. On the right hand side, it's going to go up. All right. Now we use our multiplicity and our descriptions of what's going on, right? At -5, we have a bounce. Okay. So that means, all right, it's going to go here, it's going to hit this -5, right? And then it's going to bounce. It's going to come back down. Okay. Now, this could go very low, right? I don't know, all right? But think about what has to eventually happen, right? Because our next intercept is at 0, so eventually it has to come back up, right? So I don't know, I'm going to do something like this. It has to come back up because it's got to go to this 0. What happens at 0? It's a multiplicity of 4, it's even, so it's going to hit that 0, right? And then it's also going to bounce back yet again. Okay? Now, you can make this go really low if you want. I don't know. Okay? I'm not going to draw it too low here. What happens at 2? It's a multiplicity of 1. We said when it's a multiplicity of 1, it just goes straight through it. Oh, that's terrible. Sorry, I'm going to try to make this continuous. going to look something like this. Just go straight through. Okay. So we had a bounce here at -5 because it was an even exponent. We had another bounce here. Right. This probably could be cleaned up a little bit. Okay. All right. And then here it goes straight through. All right. Okay, so hopefully that clarifies a few things. I put up a practice sheet on Google Classroom for you to try. Please try those. And then hopefully you can meet us during the Google Meet. I can go over some of those practice problems and also maybe answer some questions, or I'll try to pick out a few other ones to go live. All right?